Three, two.
All right, welcome back to It's Time Picks. We have UFC Denver.
Yes.
Yes, UFC Denver on tap. We got Thug Rose going against Tracy Cortez. Uh, it's an okay card. I'm not really all that excited about it. I prefer it from a betting standpoint, but it is what it is. Joey, how you feeling about it?
As a whole, I think it's a type of card. If you look at the main part of the main card, most of them fights should be on the prelims as a whole. But as a whole, hey, fights are fights. You know, I like to see people get punched. I like people to get kicked. I even like them to go to sleep somehow. So I love action as a whole. So another action week.
Okay, so let's jump right into it. Very first fight we have is the late edition with Evan Elder and Darius Flowers. And as always, we will kick it over to Joey to start us off.
So this to me, this is an easy fight. Evan Elder was originally going to be stepping up to fight in this fight. His opponent dropped. And apparently, by rumor, Darius had to fight due to some contract type of shit. But realistically, Darius is live in round one. He's a good finisher, good power, but his cardio was already issue with me before. Now he's taking his fight even on shorter notice, especially in altitude in Colorado. I think Evan Elder inside the distance, I really like. I think at some point, maybe round two, round three, I think he's gonna survive the storm early round one. Then he's gonna start really taking over round two, and maybe by round three gets finished. But I'm all over Evan Elder. I think he can score well. I think he can mix in takedowns. He's also a good wrestler as well. And usually I don't have luck on the first fight, but my pick is Evan Elder. Just you gotta move stuff around to get him in, but depending like about all the rest of the other fights.
Yep, he is the most expensive fighter on DraftKings, which makes things a little difficult, but I am also on him. He's one of the more confident picks on the card. I imagine that the majority of people are on him
They
and
have to be.
almost 90%. But yeah, so it should be a pretty easy fight for Elder. I do like the inside the distance, so
So if you're also want to go off my prediction, if I said like maybe round two, I saw plus 400 for Elder. Round three, I saw, I believe, plus seven. So if you want to look at one of those, both good odds, maybe put like $5 or $10 on it, you can win a nice little.
all right, so both of us are going with the favorite in Evan Elder. Next up, we have Josh Fremd and Andre Petrosky. Um, both of us are really big Petrosky fans. Josh Fremd has not really shown us anything. He's got what he had the two wins. He had one. Well, I don't consider Dumas or Pickett good fighters, so those don't really mean a whole lot. And he's been kind of beaten up in the other three fights, and I fully expect that to continue here. Petrosky's going to have an edge in speed and on the mat. He should have a field day with takedowns. We could be looking at another 110, 115 score.
So if anyone doesn't know or they don't follow me on Twitter, Andre Petrosky is my Planet Flag Fighter of the Week. I look, if say right now, if he beats Malkoon, you're easily seeing him at like a minus 170, minus 185. Now you're getting even money. Like that doesn't make work. I'm sorry. I'm picking the more well-rounded guy, more dangerous guy. And Frem has shitty as hell takedown defense. It may take one takedown if they're both dry. And Petrosky can get some hooks in, try to do some damage, and get a neck. It wouldn't shock me. But yeah, Petrosky is one of my more favorite and confident plays, even as a dog at 7,900.
Yeah, I don't think he should be the dog, but both of us are in fact on the dog. Actually, the fight's moved closer to a pick 'em, so he's a
Yeah.
dog on DK though.
Yep.
Next up, we have Luana Santos and Bria Agapova. And Joey, who you got in this one? I mean, pretty
I think
obvious.
it's kind of obvious. Hey Lali, how you doing, mommy? But I know she's out of my league. Leave me alone. Don't even need to say it. But no, realistically, I think Santos is better everywhere. Uh, Maria, from what I heard, she wasn't even barely training. Somebody said that apparently she went on social, was asking fans for, profits. But I don't know. I didn't personally see it, but yeah, she's live early. She's a big girl. She knows how to throw punches hard. But if she gets close to Santos, she's gonna catch her. She's gonna judo toss the living shit out of her once, twice, maybe three, four times. And even if it goes to decision, if it's takedown, repeat, and control, she's another one I think that could score probably in the 110s to 115 range in any type of method. If it's a decision or realistically, it might be a knockdown or takedown, do damage and finish. It wouldn't shock me. I think she's for high.
Yeah, definitely. So if you look at Agapova's stats, I mean, she's an all right fighter. But the thing to pay attention to is that almost all of her fights end by finish, which is going to be huge in this fight. Because if for some reason she does, knock Santos out or submits her, which I don't think she does, that would be a massive score.
Low
But
owned.
I think what we see is Santos just completely dominating from the start, and putting up a pretty relatively decent score. If it makes it into the third round, I worry a little bit because I think there's going to be more striking than there's going to be ground play. But I do think this ends early, and Santos is a great play for cash games. So both of us are on the heavy favorite in Luana Santos. Next up, we have Montel Jackson going against Damone Blackshear, and I'm all over Jackson in this fight. Blackshear continues to show us that he's not as good as he thinks he is. His two little wins that he had were great. That twister made everybody, freak out because it was, it was really good. And then you could make the case that he beat Mario Bautista, but Montel Jackson has him beat everywhere in this fight. Could he get his next snatched? Absolutely. I mean, it happens, but Jackson is a complete fighter, and I fully expect him to have his way in this fight.
Excuse me. Yeah, I've been on Montel since he got into the UFC. That's still going to continue. I think if he wants to play more safe approach, I think he can just piece him up for 3 rounds or maybe even catch him late. He definitely has a lot more power in the hands. He's more than just a wrestler, which I know, like I said, could he maybe mix in takedowns late to secure more rounds? Ideally, it could. You can see him maybe get like 2 or 3 takedowns, hit or miss. But he is better everywhere. The only thing he does need to watch out for, like I said, oh, we're good. Oh well, people aren't heard the video. That's my mama. Um, but no, I think Jackson is better everywhere. But if he wants to play it safe, keep it on the feet. But I think he wins either way. I think he should be a bigger favorite. Ideally, I saw like minus 145 earlier, which
Mhm.
I hope it keeps getting lower by the fight starts because I'll put a nice little set on it.
Yeah, so both of us are going with the favorite in Montel Jackson. Next up, we've got Jasmine Jasudavicius going against Fatima Klein. And for me, this was the fight that confused me most when it came to the odds. And I told Joey about this right away. I don't know why Fatima Klein came in as the favorite. Jasmine has now moved to a favorite, but I think they fucked that up to begin with. But Joey, where are you at in this one?
Nothing against Klein. From what I've seen, she is talented for her age. She's not bad. She's well-rounded ish. She was a 25 and a 115er champ, double champ. So yeah, that's impressive for her early age. That's good. But to me, there's levels. There's really is something called levels. I think she took this fight knowing she should get another fight locked in. I'm not calling her a bum. I just think the levels of competition is going to be so well easily seen during the fight. And I really do believe Jasmine, once she gets the clinch, she's going to big sister the living shit out of her and realize you are in the wrong weight class. I think Jasmine in a fit, maybe Jasmine could get it maybe a later finish like she did last fight. Get Klein tired in altitude, maybe round 3, scores well. But even in decision, I think she's going to get multiple takedowns. I think she's going to get plenty of control time. She's also one of my favorite dogs on the card too.
Yeah, so I am all over Jasmine. She was if you were going to talk about planted fighters, that would be mine. And I said it immediately because I just didn't understand this. The thing that people probably won't see about Klein is that she has a lot of grappling experience. That's the majority of her fights. So, yeah, she's only got 6 MMA fights, but she's got 20 grappling fights. And she's won the majority of them, but it's one thing to go grappling against a grappler than it is to go grappling against an MMA fighter, and especially one that's been in the UFC and who has fought relatively good competition, which I mean Jasmine has. So I do fully expect Jasmine just to lay it on her and make a statement because they disrespected the shit out of her when they made this fight. So both of us are on the DK dog now favorite in Jasmine Jasudavicius.
Yeah, you know who Jasmine's only 2 losses are, right? And they're both
Uh,
good losses.
Yeah, Cortez and Natalia Silva.
That's I'm not. You can't put your head down on it. I'm sorry, but
No, definitely not.
and I hope people do. And this newcomer gets a lot more ownership, hopefully. And
So next up, we've got Joshua Van and Charles Johnson, and I will continue to ride the Joshua Van train because I continue to be impressed by him. So Charles Johnson, I like to go against him, and he's proved me wrong in the last two fights because he fights so defensively, it pisses people off, and they get really frustrated. I don't think he's going to be able to do that to Van. Van is just dirty and nasty, and he's not afraid to get into someone's face. Um, and Van he's got a pretty good ground game if he really wanted to take it there, but I just see him out striking Johnson. I do worry that if there's no finish in this fight, it's not going to score well for DFS, so I'm going to try to avoid that for the most part. But I do like Van to win this.
so I'll give myself credit. I remember I was on one of the main people in the public that I at least know of. I picked Charles Johnson over Jake Hadley. And everyone called me, dumb. But I was like, I thought Jake Hadley was overrated a little bit, and he got exposed easily. Johnson teed off on him, did what the hell he wanted with him. But I do think this fight could be a little bit back and forth to an extent. But I do expect Van to have the more volume if he wanted to really secure more rounds, even sneaking a takedown if he wanted to. But I think this is going to be pretty much a 15-minute striking fight. And as you said, for no matter what for each side, if neither side gets a finish, I don't necessarily see either side really scoring well. So, as you said, it's more of a fade fight for me, but I got Van.
All right, both of us are on the favorite. He is a moderate favorite in Joshua Van. Next up, we are moving on to the main card where we have a bum of a fighter in Cody Brundage going against Abdul Razak Al Hassan. And Joey, I swear to God, if your pick is Brundage, just don't even talk.
So, Al Hassan, no, I can't even talk to you right now. So, Al Hassan, yes, he has the judo, but has he really seen much of it? Not really, because he's a judo guy that fell in love with power in his hands, which I don't blame him. The dude could knock out a damn elephant probably with one punch, maybe, or close enough, maybe three. But he is dangerous in the hands. My worry is he does get taken down by good overall people that come forward and wrestle. He does get taken down. And he accepts the bottom. He's like, all right, you just want to control me, bro? Cool. You're not gonna do no damage. I'll let you control me. So he takes that away. If he doesn't get finished round one, I don't think he wins his fight personally, and I'll be real about it. But he's so dangerous in round one. That's what scares the shit out of me. But I am wait, describe how you said about Cody again. He's a bum.
He's a bum.
Not when he wins within the first two rounds, he's not a bum.
He's still a bum.
But no, realistically, I'll be real. One other worry. He's almost
Because
40.
let's put it this way. In
Okay.
his last, six fights, he had the DQ win against Malkoun where he was a
Which he
big
got
fucking
blessed with.
pussy. And then he
Yep.
beat Zach Reese on a completely freak
Insane slam.
slam. So, no. Cody
Like I
Burns
said,
is,
he is the better wrestler.
I'll take Razak Al Hassan in every aspect of this fight.
Yeah, I
But
got Brunage.
I do have him by knockout.
So yeah, I'm telling people, I think if it happens here, Hassan by knockout, or I think there's a chance if it does get later, Brunage could submit him. But
Nope.
I, I got Brunage.
You're out of your mind.
I know I am.
Just
But
think you have to go to
so
sleep knowing that you just picked Brundage to
I
win a fight.
know. So listen to this, right? If he wins, are you gonna give me some credit? I'm picking him.
It depends on if he wins in a dominant fashion. Sure. If he
I'm
wins by
telling you.
another
Look,
bullshit
I
fucking
think
way, no.
whoever wins this fight is gonna be like, okay, you have a little buzz on you, but that's how I think it's gonna win. Whoever wins, DFS wise, like I said, GPP fight, pick your side. You'll get more ownership on Al Hassan. You'll get less on Cody. Depends on how you want to look at it. I'm going more Cody, but I'm telling
You
you,
should feel bad.
I don't feel bad at all, dude. Because I'll tell you right now, he was my third option as I plant my flag. He was my third.
I wish you would have done it because I would have made fun of you so hardcore.
But look, if he wins, though, I would have said some all types of shit. I would have tagged you. I would have tagged everyone that doubted it if he wins this fight.
That's fine. I'll do the same thing when he doesn't. And I'll make sure that everybody watches the clip where you chose him.
Okay,
No,
so look,
we are
so
split on that one.
we're split. So if it does happen, if you tell me Brunage gets smoked, you're gonna share on Twitter saying I picked Brunage.
Yep. So Joey's going with Brundage, the dog. He is a pretty heavy. No, he's a slight underdog. And I'm going with the favorite in Al Hassan. Next up, we have Christian Rodriguez going against Julian Erosa. And I was torn on this fight for a little bit only because Christian Rodriguez worries me the way that he fights. He sometimes gets too hesitant, too patient. The fight against Cameron Saymon, if you told me he was going to come in and fight like that, I'd pick him all day. Which I have him anyways because Erosa just doesn't have any chin at all. I think he's been knocked out 7 times now and twice in the last 3 fights. So I think Rodriguez knocks him out, but Erosa's guillotine is nasty, and so Rodriguez does have to watch out for that.
So I was hoping that you weren't going to say it, but that was like my actual play I was mainly looking at Rodriguez by knockout. It may not happen in the first round, but it wouldn't shock me at some point. Rosa's guard gets lazy and he gets knocked out for the 9th time in his career. So that's the one prop I'm actually going to put a little good money on it. I think there's a chance he could do it inside the distance somewhere.
Absolutely.
So stop stealing my plays.
No. Next up, I have a very bad taste in my mouth for this fight. Not for Bonfim, but for Angelusa and his bitch ass that
Yep.
cried because he got poked in the eye and he was perfectly fine. He ran away from that fight. He was getting his ass kicked in, and I am still not over it. So he's a fucking pussy. I hope he gets knocked out. I hope he loses his teeth, and I hope he gets ruined.
Okay, so I wasn't expecting all that, but that just hyped me the fuck up a little bit. People were saying, "Oh, he never got finished." He was gonna get finished in that round. He was looking for the biggest quit button I've ever freaking seen. And then after the fight's called, "Oh, I'll kill you," I'm like, "Where the fuck was that after the vote?" So I kind of lost respect for him on that. I legit, that's where I tell people. Everyone that was saying, "Oh, I think Mark Andre could win over Pfeiffer." Oh, fraud check, fraud check. I'm like, I'm telling you, they're gonna come back and they're gonna whoop somebody's freaking ass. And I think Bonfim gets it done in round one.
Absolutely. I agree. I think it'll be by submission though.
Yeah, I think he
Uh,
maybe try to rock him, Lucy tries to shoot, and he gets a gilly probably.
so aside from my first take, because Angelou says a big bitch,
Yep.
I am all over Bonfim. He is one of my favorite plays on the slate. I also think he's one of the safest plays on the slate. He is still a stud. His loss to Dalby, it's not a big concern. Dalby, we've all seen him fight. We've all seen him how he fights. I mean, he's one of the best in the division. I don't care what anybody says. He really is. Uh, so I am definitely all over Bonfim. I will probably play him everywhere. So both of us are only favorite in Bonfim. Next up, we've got another late addition to the card in Drew Dober and Jean Silva. And my choice on this card is no different than what it was not that long ago. I will be going with the fighting nerd. I think he's the better fighter. I think he will continue to show that he's the better fighter. Drew Dober's dangerous. No doubt about it. He's got a lot of power. He's got a lot of knockouts, but Silva is just, like I said before, I just don't go against the fighting nerds.
All right, so I'm gonna say this. I learned from my mistake. I am not picking against a fighting nerd. I am sorry. I really am. So one thing I'll say about this fight, it could if it goes all 3 rounds, it's still gonna be an exciting fight. Could it pay off? Depends. I still think more than likely, maybe. Um, but Gene Silva's a bad boy, man.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I saw Dober, yes, I'm not saying Dober's chinning. Does he get hit? Yes. But did he get chinned against Pavoli like I called? Absolutely. But one thing I noticed during that fight, if you're faster than Dober, you can get in and out. You can touch him all you want. And
Yep.
I think Silva could do it. I don't know if he knocks him out because Dober's chin is pretty damn good outside that one fight, but I think Gene Silva's going to have a lot of success. I want to say he needs a finish to win this fight, to score well. That's because I think Dober at some point is going to try to clinch up. And I'll tell you right now, Dober will be the first one to attempt a takedown, not Silva. I'll say that right now. So I do like Gene Silva, but like I said, I think either side needs to finish a score pretty good.
That's fair. So both of us are on the DK dog. He's now the betting favorite in John Silva. Next up, we have Santiago Ponzinibbio going against Muslim Salikov. And I would assume that we're on the same pick, but where we're at.
So I'll say this. I don't know why it's the co-main event. I'll say that right now. That should it be a main card opener? Sure. Okay. 2 older guys. I don't think neither one fighting for a championship anytime soon, not even close.
Nope.
I just think whoever loses could be, possibly saying the R word for retirement, maybe. Who knows?
Hmm.
But realistically, I just think Ponzinibbio's damn near better everywhere. More power, definitely faster, better durability. Could Savakov catch him with some weird spinning back heel kick? Maybe, yeah. Could he maybe even go for a clinch takedown or two? More likely, maybe, if it needs to. But without a finish on either side, I don't think I think this fight's gonna be low scoring out the ass. Both guys are gonna have moments throughout the first two and a half, and then whoever wins the rest is gonna win by like a split decision. Wouldn't shock me. But I
I
got
don't think
Ponzi.
I don't think it's going to be a split. I think it's going to be Ponzinibbio unanimous, but I don't think it's going to be high scoring either.
No.
Mainly because Ponzinibbio is 37 and Salikov is 40. They're both getting up there. Ponzinibbio is faster. He's got the reach advantage. It's not a good fight. It's not a good co-main event. But we are both on the favorite in Santiago Ponzinibbio. Next up, we have
Well,
the
if you're
what?
doing anything for this fight,
No.
Ponzinibbio by decision.
Next up, we have the main event with Thug Rose Namajunas, Eunice, and Tracy Cortez. And this is Cortez's biggest fight to date. Tracy Cortez looked like shit on the scales. I was already on Rose, but after I saw that, I was doubly on Rose. Um, I think that Rose looked great in her last fight with Amanda Hebos. I think Amanda Hebos actually won that fight, but Rose did look good. She looked at least slightly back to normal. And I think Cortez is going to have a lot of struggles in this fight against her. That said, I also am not sure that it's going to make the optimal if there's six other finishes on this card or six other high scores. It could be another 5 round bout that is rather slow. But I do think that Rose eventually gets this to the mat and submits her.
So I do think, I said, as you said, I think there needs to be a finish probably within under 3.5, in my opinion, for this fight to even have a chance to score high. Maybe just for Rose, because she's 9K or 9.2, one of those. Cortez in a decision, maybe that's what, some takedowns, which I think if she does get the actual body clinch takedowns, I think she couldn't get Rose down. But Rose does work her way up real well against the cage, finds her way back up. So maybe it's a takedown repeat. Cortez could win decent in decision, but you're in Rose's backyard. You're probably not going to get a close decision call. They're not going to really do her that way. So I'm not going to lie to you. Throughout the whole week, I've been on Perez. But look, as a DFS dog, if you're telling me
Cortez,
72, yeah, Cortez. Who the hell I say?
Perez.
Oh, Perez. Jesus, I'm thinking about old boy breaking his leg. But yeah, if Tracy Cortez racks in takedowns control, just takedown. 7,200, that's worth a play. More for me. Especially if she wins, she can maybe still score well enough to get in the optimal in a decision win with takedowns, control, maybe a little bit of damage. That's more the play for me. If you think, Rose can submit her, yeah, she'll be owned still, but I'm not. It's more of a dog or pass fight for me. But realistically, I hate to say I can't believe I'm switching my pick. I'm actually going Rose.
I don't
I
know
was
why you
on
wouldn't go with
no,
Rose.
so like I'll tell you right now, one, the weight cut wasn't bad. It was because she had to cut a piece of back of her hair and then she made it.
She cut a lot of her hair, and she also looked like
Like it goes
shit.
like what, that much?
No, it's more than that. Go look at it. It was a good foot. Regardless, Cortez has fought nobody on the skill level of Rose, and it's not even close,
You're definitely not striking wise.
or grappling wise.
If you want to go by wrestling or you want to go by like, grapple.
Grapple, not wrestling.
The closest one's Blanchfield, but that was before the UFC days.
Yeah, far before.
Yeah.
But anyways, we are now both on the same pick for that fight as well. Both of us going with the favorite in Thug Rose in her backyard because she is from Colorado. This fight is in Denver. That wraps up these 12 fights. I think next week is another fight night
Thank God
card.
I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
Next week is oh my god,
Lemos.
Lemos and Jandiroba. Yeah, there's not a lot of good fights on this card. I will
Uh,
once again be on Jandiroba though because I continue to ride that train. But
Look, I should have ran the train against when I went to see her last fight and she grappled shit the fuck out of Godinez.
there's some pretty exciting fights on this card. Hyder and Meals back on this card.
He's a dude. He's almost a 2-1 dog.
Yeah, because he's going against
That
a
we
pretty
got. That
another good fighter. So I mean, it's another low end card. You know, it's whatever.
I'll be in a birthday
Um,
party.
I think 2 weeks is when we have UFC 304. Yeah,
Yes, sir. And guess
yeah,
what? Our boys on the card.
yeah. That'll be so. That one is back in London with Aspinall, Edwards, Bilal Muhammad. We get to watch one of the most boring fighters ever.
And our
Mukayev's
boy.
back on that card.
Who's our
Uh,
boy, Jerry?
Parkin. I'm looking through it.
Main
Which
card.
one?
Main card.
What am I missing here? Oh, Patty. Yeah,
Patty the Batty. And
going
he's still at
against
plus
King
money.
Green
And
since
he's
he
still
changed his
plus
name.
money. I'm taking and look, I'm throwing bank on Patty on plus money, and I'm putting money on him by
Uh,
submission.
we'll talk about it then, but I might be on Green for that fight because Patty hasn't fought in forever.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's gonna choke him out.
I hope he does, but
Nice choke.
that wraps this card up. As always, we appreciate you watching, and we will catch you next week.